Good morning, ladies and gents, back with another Conquerors Blade video. This time around we're going to be looking at the Shield Maidens. Did they get nerfed into the floor, or are they still pretty decent? So the Shield Maidens obviously had a fairly massive nerf a few months ago. I've been playing them still quite a lot, and I have to say that the nerf that came around for them was not as hard hitting as we were led to expect when we first heard about it, which is nice. So I'm just going to go through and show you how I am building them. And I would say that yes, you still want to be getting them pretty sharpish, and I will show you some of the runes that I have on them as well, or the doctrines, sorry, that I have on them as well. So nothing really has changed, to be honest, in the build-up of the Shield Maidens. You still want to be playing them on the shield line, which is this bottom line here. There is, however, a kind of little bit of a change in terms of the style of gameplay when you are playing them. You want to be actually having them in cover commander, so they are keeping up with you. Hit 1, then 2, and then 3. So you're actually in that cover commander, so they are running with you pretty quickly. They seem to run quicker in cover commander than they do on the normal follow C skill. So that is why I've always got them in it. Plus it also encircles you as the commander, so it gives you a little bit of protection. But when you are just about to go into a fight, pop their #1 ability while they're on spear form. That is the skill that actually increases all of the defense values. I think it increases by like 15%, 20%. It's a fairly decent kind of buff. Only lasts for about 10 seconds or so, so it's not a hugely long buff, but you want to hit #1 so you can pop off this Guardian skill, then hit #2, go back into cover commander, and then hit 3 for that double hit as they change to the sword. Their sword skill is still doing massive amounts of damage, as you can see in some of the gameplay clips that I am showing you right now. They are still very powerful as units, but you've got to play them a little bit more clever nowadays. You cannot go just running face first into the enemy. You actually have to flank, you have to go up the rear, you have to actually think about what you are doing when you are using these girls. Now, they are, like I said, still very heavy hitting. They are definitely comparable to some of the heaviest hitting kind of units in the game, such as Iron Reapers with their flails and everything, but their attack rate is still very quick in comparison to the flail Reapers, which actually makes them, I think, more versatile and more useful than the flail Reapers. They do get melted very quickly by cavalry though, so that is kind of their balancing kind of thing. Is if you are going up against cavalry, it doesn't seem to really matter what type of cavalry, Shield Maidens are going to come off worse than what they would have done before the nerf and everything, which is quite rightly so. They need to have something that can counter them, and cavalry is definitely something that can counter them. Varangians still go up against them toe to toe, and I would say it's probably 50-50, depending on if you're coming up against a decent Varangian player. Azaps are, if you know how to play Azaps, are a very good counter to the Shield Maidens, but the Shield Maidens do pretty damn well against all of the meta units currently, like the 40s, the Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. So actually they are really useful still in a warband. Going into the doctrines that I have for my Shield Maidens, then you still want to be prioritising block and defences. You want to be smashing everything that you can into there. If you've got the regeneration skill, that is quite a useful one to have. This one here, so 150 health every second for 10 seconds, really quite useful skill to have. This one is also really good. Reduces damage taken from cavalry charges by 500 points. You're not really going to be using these girls in any formation that they're going to be rear attacked, but would be useful against obviously cavalry. I have tried this reduces damage taken by 30 points, also quite a good useful little skill if you haven't got anything else, but you want to be prioritising defences and health over attack. I always use the breakthrough doctrine just to do a little bit more damage overall to units, so I would suggest putting this one on there. Everything else, you want block recovery, you want defenses, and you want reduces damage taken as well. Very good tanky unit, but even when tanking, they are still very heavy hitting as well. Should you be getting the Shield Maidens? Yes, definitely. They are a very quick unit, they're a very good unit, they're a very versatile unit if you know how to play them properly. Like I said, Before the nerf, you could literally just go charging face first into battle and you would always come out the victor. Now you got to play it a little bit smarter. You got to go around the flank, you got to go up in the rear and actually attack stuff from behind. These girls will pretty much come out on top 8-9 times out of 10 though, so they are very, very useful. What do you think? Have you been playing the Shield Maidens since their nerf? How have you found them? Have you found that they've actually changed a lot or not too much? I am still loving them. They are still one of my primary units in my warband and will be for some time. They are also very, very useful in territory wars, not only sieges but territory wars. They are very useful in the makeup of decent units. They are in a very good place, and I would say a very balanced place right now as well, because whenever you see them on the battlefield you do think, oh my god, there's some maidens. However, before it was always a case of you just had to run away, but now actually you do have certain units which can counter them, which is obviously where the balance comes into play. Thank you very much for watching though, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little unit review of the Shield Maidens and how they currently are. What is the next unit that you want me to review? Someone has already suggested the Cyphos, so I will look to get a video out on the Cyphos pretty soon. If there's any other units that you want me to cover though, as they are at this point of time, then please do let me know down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the Shield Maidens and how they are playing right now as well. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button, all that lovely fan-doobie-tastic stuff, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.